How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be doing something a bit different. I want to discuss some of the radios in Revelations and just talk about the consequences and what it could mean pretty much. But before I start that, it is pissing down rain here at my home. I'm recording right next to a window, so I am sorry if you can hear any rain or any feedback going on, but hopefully it's not too distractive. So I thought I'd start it off with the 5 radio first. It's just Robert McNamara. He's in a janitor closet. He's saying the Pentagon is under attack and he doesn't know where the other characters are. That's Kennedy, Castro, and Nixon. And he fears they may be dead. And this is the part where it gets funny. You know, he says the attackers may be blighted by some kind of sickness. And I read it out how he says it. They're just dirty hippies under the influence of hallucinogenic substances. Now, I found that part pretty funny because, you know, it just kind of matches with the times. And it's just such an odd thing because with the 5 intro it makes you think that, oh, you know, Kennedy kind of knows these zombies and, you know, you'd think Robert McNamara would know of it as well, you know, being his Secretary of Defense. But pretty much it just confirms that these characters died after it, or at least Robert McNamara survived. Now, pretty much the real reason why he has been chosen to survive is because the voice actor of Robert McNamara also does the voice of Shadow Man. So of course, since they've got, you know, doing lines for Shadow Man, they thought, hey, we'll just get you to reprise your role as Robert McNamara, you know, get you to survive the attack. Otherwise, if it was a different person than Shadow Man, I have no doubt that they all would have been dead. Now, I'm a little disappointed there was nothing on the Pentagon thief, and it also could have been a great time to maybe reference Broken Arrow again. I know they have been referenced in this game, which is super awesome, but it would have been nice to kind of like, okay, they are connected with the Americans, they're connected with 5 and all the shit that was going on down in the basement. So we'll move on to the Call of the Dead and the Shangri-La radios now, and these ones are super interesting. Now, a lot of people have been saying this is Sarah Michelle Gellar talking, and it is not, guys. You will see some YouTubers and other people saying, oh, this is Sarah Michelle Gellar speaking, but it is not her. If you're a fan of her or, you know, you watch the show she's in, you know her voice isn't like that. And why would they get Sarah Michelle Gellar back for like a simple voice role just like that? It's clearly not her. And with what is said in that first radio, it's not her. And that's an interesting radio, the first one in itself. You know, it confirms that all the Call of the Dead crew are missing, presumably dead. It doesn't confirm they're dead, but it was pretty much an easy way of saying, oh, they're missing without mentioning anyone. You know, the Call of the Dead cast and crew, they're not saying specific names, which I'm pretty sure is just so they don't have to pay royalties or whatever. Now, you're probably saying, oh, Rissole, you know, they use Robert McNamara's name. It's a bit different though, and all I can really say to that is there is just different rules and shit for that kind of stuff. Like, obviously they would need their permission and all that, and they may not have to pay royalties to Robert McNamara's family. I don't really know the exact rules, but I'm certain though for the celebrities and George Romero, you know, even mentioning them may carry like, oh, you've got to pay them. But anyway, I'm getting off track. It goes on, this woman, she starts going through Romero's research, and I don't know if she is just randomly taken to Shangri-La or if she goes there herself. But she does say she arrives in the jungle and then the sky goes dark like an eclipse. So I don't know if she triggered the eclipse while she was there or if she was just there when Brock and Gary did it and so she got caught up in it as well. Now this woman dies and she keeps dying because she's stuck in this time loop along with Brock and Gary. However, she knows that she's dying, which is really, really weird. She seems to know, but Brock and Gary don't. You know, from Shangri-La, we know that they don't remember. And then in the next radio, she says she's setting up traps and Brock and Gary come along and it's... What's annoying is they got different voice actors for them, but what they could have done is literally just reuse the recording from Shangri-La. Because if you give a listen to it, you know, it's completely different people. They could have reused that line or even gotten the VA for Maxie's and Nikolai because it's the same person. He does Brock. They could have gotten him to do Brock and for some reason they just didn't. So anyway, it matches up with one of the audios and she set up the bear trap that they die in one time. Now this chick says these guys are more annoying than the undead, which is really weird. It's kind of going back into that wacky side of zombies again, which hasn't really been present in Black Ops 3. It was there in Black Ops 1 and 2 and World at War, of course, but yeah, it just hasn't really been there in Black Ops 3. And, you know, you'd think she'd know who Brock and Gary are. She says she doesn't know who they are, but, you know, you'd think she'd know. And that's pretty much where the radio ends. And so, the ultimate question that comes out of this, who is this woman? Why is she being introduced right now? It's not Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's not any woman character we know, but why are they introducing her now? Is there going to be more radios on her? The only radios we really have discovered recently is about Sophia, but that woman isn't Sophia, or at least I don't think so. It shouldn't be. This woman was alive in 2011 because she was on the Call of the Dead set, or she knew about it. But we don't really have any important characters from that time frame. So I'm hoping they explain who this woman is, what is she doing, why is she doing it, and pretty soon, like, I hope there's a 5th radio or whatever, or one of the ciphers explains it, because this is the last map. I hope maybe it could be explained in the comic book, but just, it's a little worrying that they're introducing a new character in the last map, and she's related in several important events. She's involved with the Call of the Dead crew, and she's somehow getting involved in the Shangri-La stuff. Anyway guys, thanks for listening. What did you think about the radios? Like, overall, I'm so glad that they included radios that referenced back to them, and I think all they really need to do now is one about the original Marines in Nocta and Toten, whether they are in fact the Verrucht Marines or if it's a different group. And they need to do something with the Shadows of Evil crew, because they don't have a radio. We haven't really got anything about them after. I'd like it if the Transit crew had some radios about them, but I think realistically they're kind of keeping and saving their story till the comic book. But as I said, what did you think about them? I'm gonna go and I'll catch you guys later. Cheers!